Hey everyone, this is Shavana, your future physician that you will soon know around the world. I wanted to get on today and talk about how did I choose my medical school. But the subtitle is Go Where You Are Accepted. So the funny thing is I did not choose my medical school. And I actually want to tell you a little bit about me because I have never introduced myself properly. But my name is Shavana Nova, and I'm 31 years old. I'm a non-traditional medical student, and I attend the University of Medicine and Health Sciences in St. Kitts. So now back to my story about how did I choose my medical school. I did not choose my medical school. I actually put in my application 2 weeks before it was time to even leave. So for me, my medical school journey has been a faith walk. I had no idea what school I was going to. I didn't even know that I was going out the country. I thought the whole time that I was leaving Las Vegas, which I knew. Anybody that knows me, I said it over and over again that I was leaving Las Vegas. I said that I was not. I knew I wasn't staying there, and that's having a relationship with Christ. He will tell you about things before they even come into being. Like Amos 3, it tells us like I will do nothing without revealing to my servants the prophets. So even that, if you're not even a prophet, whatever the case is, if you are a child of God, you have a relationship with Him. He's going to tell you about things so that you can get prepared, or to save you from going, or to warn you about something before anything happens, so that you can prepare for it. Now, let me get back to this. Why did I choose? How did I choose? Like I said, I did not choose it. So in 2019, I had went on to do my master's program, and before that, you know how we have to do the physical checkups and all that good stuff. My doctor, when I went to him, and this was a brand new doctor because of the whole insurance thing transferring over. I went to a brand new doctor, and I told him about like who I am, all that good stuff, and he was like, "Oh, well, you're going to medical school, right?" I was like, "Yep." And he was like, "Well, you just need to go where you get accepted," because I told him where I wanted to go, and I wanted to go to Howard University. So that was the first time somebody told me. Time went on. I didn't think nothing about what he was saying. And when I actually started my master's program in the fall, I had completed my vision board where I wanted to go to Howard University. Like I said, that was my plan. I thought that that's where I was going, and I wasn't budging, and that's what my mind was set on. So once I got back home, like for break, I went to my eye doctor. And this was a new doctor as well. And I had told him, like, I'm in my master's program. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going on to medical school. And he was like, "Oh, well, where are you going to go?" He asked the same thing. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to go. I want to go to Howard University." He said, "Go where you get accepted." So you see how God can be giving you hints as you go. God was literally giving me a strategy to actually hear this. Thank God that I heard it with my spirit man, or however you want to call it. I heard it with my ears, my spiritual ears, that like, oh, this is God speaking to me. That's the second time he sent somebody to tell me, go where you are accepted. So the next year came, pandemic happened. I was sent back home from Virginia State University. But it was the time for me to apply for medical school. I applied. I didn't get accepted to not one U.S. school. And I didn't even get an interview at all, honestly. So when November came, I was like, Lord, what school am I going to go to? I remember plain as day, I was in my bathroom praying, like, Lord, what school am I going to go to? And I was in like a group, a medical group thing, where one of the girls, like a notification came through like 15 minutes later, and she was talking about she got in a Caribbean school. I had no idea Caribbean schools existed. I didn't even know the school that I'm talking about existed. But the funny thing is, my friend told me about this school, and I thought it was in New York because that's where their main office is. My friend told me about it. I started the application. I didn't finish it because I thought in my mind it was a U.S. school, right? So I'm like, okay, it says their office is in New York. All right. So I was like, I'm not finishing that because I'm not going there. Comes to find out, this school is located in the Caribbean. And so at that time, I had, in the fall, like I said, I didn't have any interviews. I applied to Ross. And Ross and AUC have like the same program, the MERT program. So the next year, this was 2022, 2021. Whew, these years. Okay, 2021, I had got a letter from them saying that I was accepted on conditional status. So when I did that, I decided I was going to go ahead and complete the program because that's how I thought I was going to get in medical school. Mind you, years later, I always knew that I was leaving Las Vegas. And I told everybody that I was leaving Las Vegas. I said I was not staying. This was 12 years before. But God couldn't let me know why I was leaving, but I knew I was leaving. So he had to tell me, it didn't come into pass until 12 years later, to why I knew I was leaving. So, yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but whatever. Okay, so As the time went on, I had did the MERT program, and then I finally did the MERT program in the summertime, failed it, and then I had no other options because I'm like, wait now, okay, Lord, I know I'm supposed to be leaving. Then it was, I applied to SGU. SGU told me like a day before, they sent me a rejection letter a day before that I didn't get accepted. So now I'm like, Lord, now where am I gonna go? I know I'm supposed to be leaving. Mind you, I had all my bags packed because I was going by faith and not by sight. I was like, Lord, you said I'm leaving. But my faith kind of shook a little when that last school that I thought was the last school, that I thought I wasn't going to be going. So I was like trying to accept it, like, okay, Lord, I feel like maybe I'm going to stay here, but I knew I was not staying there. But my friends around me, they were telling me like, go back and try again. This is why you need people of faith in your life and people who have a prayer life, because they know God will send somebody, like I mentioned in my other video, he will send somebody to get you on track so that you won't miss your moment. So she was telling me at that time, she was like, isn't there another school? She was like, you got me over here down my faith. Like, I miss hearing God. And I'm like, nope, it ain't no other school. And she was like, go back and check again. So I remembered this school and I went ahead and completed the whole application. The next week I got an interview. 2 weeks later, I had to leave for school. So just to think, if I would have been stuck on getting into Howard University, I would have missed out on my opportunity to go to medical school, because we all know how long that cycle is. It takes too long. You're continuously taking the MCAT over and over again. So my point of all of this is go where you are accepted. If I would have decided that my opportunity did not look like what I wanted it to look like, I would have missed out on being in medical school, and you wouldn't see me right here, right now, giving you my testimony about how God made a way for me. Mind you, even in that time, I raised $5,000 to get to school, which I didn't have. But guess what? God made a way, because when it's your time, it's your time. So I said all of that to say that go where you are accepted. Don't just, sometimes we're casually giving up opportunities and we're wondering why years later we're like, man, I shouldn't have did that, because God opened that door for a reason. His word even tells us make the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. So when a door opens up, if I would have said, like, I can't go here because it don't look like what I decided to be, sometimes the opportunity is not going to be at the time that you want it to be. You might not have the money. You might not have everything that you need. But guess what? The moment God can help you, if you're walking by faith, is when you decide to make the choice and say, this is what I'm going to do. Because when I decided that's where I was going to go, all of a sudden a strategy came into place to get me there. And I will tell y'all about that in the next story. I'm sorry this took so long, but this was a long journey. It was 12 years. So I hope that this gave y'all some clarity and that it helps you with the future decision of how to choose your medical school with God. All right, y'all.